It's Mick at Night. It's such a delight. Hey everybody, it's Mick at Night. Filmed live in front of a studio audience.
Well,
The Outcasts are here, but I'm actually obligated to play that by this man over here. So
I apologize. The daughter made me promise I would put this hat on for our podcast. So
this is my brother, Simple Jack.
I never go full retard.
Don't say that word. You don't say that word. The only thing I will say about that word, without saying that word, is what it's used for is despicable, and that's why you don't say it. But god damn it, do I wish that word meant something else, because I hate when hard words get taken out of the equation, except for the N-word. That can go and burn in hell. But like all other words, like cunt, like you need those. I will always allow one of those in an episode. Don't do it. Don't do it. I kick you off. You get micked.
What about twat?
One of those two. We're slowly running out, or quickly running out, I should say. No, but those hard words like that, like all those hard words, it's like I wish they all meant something different, because they're really good words to use, but I don't want them to be offensive to anybody.
and so inexcusably, in high school, we would spell it G-H-E-Y.
G-H-E-Y?
Wow.
I didn't even know what you were talking about.
Well, in the 90s, we called everything that, right?
Hey, George.
George, what's up, buddy? Hey, betting bros, George. I made the call. It's going to be Chiefs 24, Niners 17.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Chiefs 24, Niners 17, and you got to bet the over on catches, yardage, and the touchdown for Travis Kelce.
Did you hear my bet? Dan, were you there for my bet?
Yeah, I heard it. The interception first play.
I'm telling you. Well, listen. You know what you're going to do? You're going to call me that day, and you'll be like, holy shit, dude, how'd you do that? I know it's coming. Shake, I'm disappointed. Dan didn't get
Dan Campbell. He wanted Dan Campbell to get it. I did too. I would have won $180. But
Stefanski 100% deserved Coach of the Year. He took a guy off a couch and brought him to the playoffs. First of all, if you bring the Browns to the playoffs, you're Coach of the Year.
I picked the Browns to make the playoffs, not win the AFC North, but win the playoffs or get the playoffs.
They're paying that R-word $250 million a year, and he's trash. And they brought Joe Flacco, Joey Bananas, off a couch.
R-word?
You said I can't
use that inflection either. It's still not good. You can't just say what? No, that's not how it works. I said using the word is bad for what the meaning is. You can't just replace it with something else and not think it has the same effect.
Okay, he brought that gwat to
what? Stop having this conversation. Say something else. You're an idiot. Fine.
Stefanski, 100% Coach of the Year. 100% Coach of the Year. 100% Coach of the Year. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year.
I agree.
You're a mean one, George.
Oh, George, don't give me that. Listen, they were the better team, too. They were the better team. San Francisco was the luckier team. What was the percentage chance on that Ayuk catch? I got to know. Where's math when I need him? Like, what was the percentage chance that Ayuk was going to catch that ball? Because I guarantee it was like 0.000008.
Dan, what is the percentage chance that Jared Goff is going to bring the Lions to a Super Bowl?
100 goddamn %. He's treasure.
0.0. And Brandon Ayuk is going to be a top-paid receiver next year. Top paid.
Garbage, donkey sauce. the only reason he can do anything is because there are 3 other players better than him on his team.
Name them.
Christian McCaffrey, way better, both as a receiver and a runner. Deebo Samuel and George Kittle.
Nope.
All 3 better.
Nope.
We got a Facebook user.
Nope.
Hey, Facebook user, sorry we can't see your identity, so you might have to tell us who you are or just keep going with it. But Facebook user is our equivalent of Florida Man. So tell us what you've been up to.
Mick, did you and I we both adjusted our hats at the same time?
Well, here's the problem. I shaved my head, so it's like that soft spot. Yeah,
Please.
no, what I'm saying is the hat kind of shifts on its own. I don't know why. It just does.
So both of you have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because Disney paid for this.
Well,
George, come on. Ayuk is not going to be the Super Bowl MVP.
Are you kidding me? It's going to be Travis Kelce.
Kelce all day.
The storybook in Disney. She's going to get married at the Disney princess house castle.
What's going to happen?
At Storybook Americana.
What's going to
Americana? I'm Charlie Day on this. I got the whole conspiracy wrapped up. And
What's going to happen is if they win, he's going to get MVP, and they're going to want him.
Oh, hey, Chris.
And Tay-Tay, and he's going to go, I'm going to Disney World, when we all know what he's really thinking in his head, like, I'm getting ready to do the nasty with Tay-Tay. But I think the 49ers
are alone. I don't mind if she sells this big dream with Disney, but whatever. I don't care about football enough.
I'm not going to do a score. I've got the 49ers by 6.
Niners by 6?
Here's why. And Dan, I've listened to you. You're obviously a sports guy. But the Kansas City defense is woefully underrated.
Stop picking on Taylor. There's no Taylor Swift picking on the show. I'm a Swiftie, and I was.
I'm not a Swiftie. You can pick on Taylor all you want.
Hold on. I'll get to that in a second.
The Kansas you get micked.
Is woefully underrated. They have a really good defense. They're like a bend.
Defense is why they're there. Yeah.
They have that Steve Spagnuolo, Mick being a Giant fan, bend but don't break. For the 49ers to win, they're going to have to establish that run game right away. They're going to have to feed McCaffrey, and they're going to have to let Brock Purdy play within his game. And I think if they do that, they're going to be okay. Where I think the Chiefs are going to fail is the Chiefs have zero. They have Travis Kelce and nothing. They have garbage receivers. And I think
Rashee Rice is a good receiver.
Are you trusting Scavlin to get you?
Rashee Rice is I think he's a good, not great receiver.
Are you trusting Scavlin and Kadarius Toney?
No, I'm not. Just Rashee Rice and Rashee Rice, Kelce, and Pacheco. That's enough to beat the Niners. That's enough to beat the Niners.
Yeah. If I was the 49ers defensive coordinator, I'd put the spy linebacker on Kelce, and I would blitz, make him beat you with the run game. And I think, and maybe this is praying to God, I think you're going to see Brock Purdy ball out. I think you're going to see Brock Purdy put everything to rest. I threw for 4,000 yards and 28 touchdowns on Brock Purdy. I'm taking the 49ers by 6.
George, what do you think? Hazy Hearted or double IPA?
Double IPA.
Now, as it goes to being a Swiftie, I'm not a Taylor Swift guy. My 10-year-old daughter, hates Taylor Swift with everything.
She likes metal?
Her favorite band is Korn.
Yeah, fuck yeah!
Oh,
and to hear that,
I like both.
As a 90s kid, hearing that my daughter's favorite band is Korn.
You were barely a 90s kid. Calm down.
I was born in 1979.
Yeah.
He's just as much of the 90 kids that we are.
So I thought, okay, let me see what this fad is about. and I put on Taylor Swift on YouTube. Garbage.
Midnights. All you gotta do, though, I will say, Midnights is a great album. Disclaimer: I'm not a Swiftie.
He's just saying it for effect. He's trying. He's.
Oh, it's dude. If I hear Shake It Off one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
What, damn it! One song. So that's what you heard. You heard the song that played the shit out of. Dude, you really want to go toe to toe on Taylor Swift with me? My favorite fucking part of Cats is the Taylor Swift scene. I am a fan, my friend. Went to the concert. I'll go toe to toe on this. I'll get psychological with it. What do you like, AJ? Let's talk about what you like. Why do you like it?
I like Korn.
You like Korn? Why? Because they had the black hair, the black suits, the white makeup. Kind of like a priest, right?
Did
the priest touch you when you were take it down the rabbit hole?
I like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, why? Why do you like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I'm a fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I like songs from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
California, and every song we sing's about California. That's it. I mean, there's.
Hey, if you like something, I remember I got in an argument with somebody one time about who was better, Red Hot Chili Peppers or Bon Jovi, and Dan shut up.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are better than Bon Jovi.
Ah, shut up. No, they're not.
Sorry, I don't really love it.
No.
But there is not a single damn thing I like about John Bon Jovi. I'll tell you that.
Hey, Dan, you want to see Mick Manhattan get mad?
Yes, because I know so many ways. I want to hear how his brother.
As a born and raised, as Mick Manhattan was, a born and raised New Jersey resident, born and raised, Jersey's in our blood. Bon Jovi, absolutely 1,000% fucking.
I don't care.
You gotta make me too, because I'm with it, dude. I'm with him. Sorry.
Listen, everybody. This is the pro Bon Jovi show, and those losers are in the green room now. Oh, fuck with Bon Jovi. What did he ever do to you guys?
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm just not a fan.
One more
like him.
Hey, kick this out. I gotta see one more Jersey Shore asshole going. Living on a prayer. Fuck that.
His only song. Oh my god.
Sucks.
If you really are a fan, you know that those big hits aren't his only songs, and there are some really fucking good ones. This fucking I don't know over here. And I like Korn. Listen, I don't want to take away from it. I like Korn. I like all that stuff. I can like everything. I'm not a hater. Haterade over here. What the fuck was that? Inlow. Korn was hated way more than Taylor Swift. There were bands. Yeah, no, it's true. I would say that's a testament to the time it was, where all of that type of music was really hated and just had a really big base growing. Taylor, of course, was part of the pop, country, then went really into pop. So like, she just perfected it. At least we're not getting fucking boy bands and fucking.
I will say, Midnights is a great album, and I will stand on top of that.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Everything else Taylor has done I agree with your brother. Everything other than Midnights, I think is garbage. I'm sorry, dude. I listened to the whole discography this summer.
Dan's a good man. I like him.
Shut up.
I listened to the whole thing. I wasn't going to be uninformed. Like
I know you wouldn't be. I give you the respect of that. I'm not offended. But that's the thing. Like, I completely get if you're like, I listened to the entire discography and I really liked Midnights, and everything else I didn't like. But you go right to, Midnights is really good, and she just sucks.
No. Everything else sucks. I like Midnights.
That's so
I'm the problem, it's me. What's the name of the song? Like, that's like, I'm the problem, it's me.
Anti-Hero.
Okay, so Anti-Hero, I think, is a top 5 pop song ever written. My problem with Taylor Swift is, you're a pop singer, act like a fucking pop singer, and stay a pop singer. Quit pretending you're anything other than a pop singer, and I'm on your side.
No, I say bullshit.
the stereotypical person her age and every single album she released.
But the stereotypical ones like the Jessica Simpsons, which nothing against them, they have beautiful voices, they're beautiful women. But Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson, what's the other one? Christina Aguilera. They were all those. They were all the same. Everything was the same.
Nick,
Oh, shut up! No, hold on. So Taylor Swift comes in and has changed the game.
Okay.
Did she know?
So then
Yes.
let me ask you a question. And
Think about it.
who puts out better pop albums? Who puts out better club bangers? When you're talking about a pop album, what is better in the club?
They're not sampling Taylor fucking Swift in these clubs? Are you a fucking maniac? The woman made $1 billion on a fucking tour this year.
Hold on. Taylor Swift, when you're in a club and you want to bang your head, Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga?
There are literally your heroes of
Lady Gaga is better than Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I can completely understand, but that's the thing. To me, it's a matter of taste. If your taste isn't Taylor Swift, I get that. She doesn't suck, but I definitely get and I'm not saying Lady Gaga's better. It's just they're different tastes. It's like Beatles and Rolling Stones. You can like both.
There's zero comparison. The Rolling Stones are better than the Beatles 10 times out of 10.
That's not what I'm saying, you fucking Nimrod. Oh my god, dude. I mean that. I mean that truly in stupidity and in occupation.
How about this, Nick? How about this?
What?
Taylor Swift, if you consider her albums, is below the Miyagi line of music.
Bullshit. No way.
I'm sorry. Dude, that country shit she released is trash. Come on. It's bad music.
Well, she grew at the times. Like, she started when she was 16.
Man, I'll give you an example. I had a Swiftie tell me that.
I got my fucking bracelets on.
Pull up your big boy pants. I had a Swiftie tell me that in terms of cultural impact, Taylor Swift is going to have more of a cultural impact than, get this, Michael Jackson. I had somebody tell me that.
So, FYI, Chris, FYI, I think Christina is the voice of probably our generation circa 1990 to 2010. Like Christina Aguilera. First of all,
let me address the comment, though. Let me address the comment real quick. I get it. That might be true. And you know what? I've heard Christina Aguilera sing those high pitches, and yes, it's true. So, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that but there were like a lot of these almost kind of identical types of singers at the time doing these same things, the same sounding songs. Yes, their voices all may have been good, bad, whatever. But Taylor steps in. I'm not saying she's the best singer. What I'm saying is she changed the game. She is a cultural icon up there with Elvis, Michael Jackson, those types.
She's not even the richest studio artist.
It doesn't matter, but impact on culture.
Beyonce?
We don't think of Michael Jackson because his record sales, because there's plenty of other people who have huge record sales, but we think of him because of the cultural impact he brought to the world. Elvis brought that cultural impact to the world. We remember these people, not as good people, bad people, but people who made a change in the world and shifted things.
Let's slow down a little bit. Thriller, right?
Yeah.
You are putting Taylor Swift on the level of Thriller.
Yeah.
Dan.
Wow!
I'll do you one better.
Yeah, I agree with that, Nick. I agree that Taylor Swift is influential. I agree she's influential.
I'll push it this way. Let me ask you this. So let's go the other way. Elvis and Michael Jackson, would you say they're both on the same plane, though? Them?
No. Michael Jackson is on his own plane. Michael Jackson is on his own fucking
maybe
plane.
Michael Jackson's at the top of the plane, but then Taylor Swift's at least going to be.
Here's why Michael Jackson's on his own plane. Because Michael Jackson brought Motown to pop, and Michael Jackson was the first black artist that said, I am mainstream. Here's who I am. This is who I am.
Okay, you know what? Fuck that plane. You know why? Here, fuck all those planes. Here's why. Taylor Swift's not fucking kids. So I don't care.
It has nothing to do with the music.
Come
Well, it
on.
doesn't have anything to do with music.
Dan, hold on. Mike is right. He was a piece of shit.
He was. And I'm not saying he wasn't a piece of
Right,
shit.
when you're-
but
Finality of
I
the planes.
So if you're talking about cultural impact on music, okay, you're saying Taylor Swift, cultural impact on music. So how do we do that? I'm a child of the 90s. Was Nirvana cultural impact on music? Yes. Killed.
I'd say a huge one, but not as big as those.
I would suggest it killed 80s hair metal. Nirvana killed 80s hair metal.
Yeah.
I would suggest.
Okay, so if I'm comparing all of this to, so let's compare this to the levels of the Greek gods, right? So let's say Michael Jackson on these cultural impact is Zeus.
I wouldn't even.
Michael Jackson is Kronos. He's Kronos.
I wouldn't say Michael Jackson is Zeus.
Okay.
You know who I would say is Zeus? Chuck Berry is Zeus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The guy who invented rock and roll and the 3-riff fucking kick? Yes, he's Zeus.
But that's not, I wouldn't consider that, like.
I think you mean Marvin Berry.
Nice Back to the Future reference.
That's been a night.
You can talk about how everything built, and I'm not discounting the fact that Taylor Swift is this icon right now, but here's how I word it. The Rolling Stones started in 1967. The Rolling Stones are still selling out stadiums in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me 20 years from now Taylor Swift is going to sell out a stadium? The answer is no.
I do.
No.
I think she will be.
No.
I mean, 20 years from now, though, dude, she's going to be 40. No, how old is she? 30 something, 34. So 54.
Mick Jagger is
J-Lo's out there dancing, and she's like 60.
Mick Jagger is almost 90, and
And you're telling me she can't be performing in stadiums at 54? Your literal thing here is that the man can do it.
The fan base will be there. There are these groups, these acts that stand the test of time. That just stand the test of time.
It's a cyclical thing, like that you can see within like 30-year periods where those icons come in. And right now it's her. And because she's been doing this, she's 34, 20 years, almost 20 years. She's
hell then, Mick. Is she a bigger cultural icon right now than Beyonce?
Yes.
No.
Taylor Swift does not cross racial lines, and Beyonce does. That's the.
Is she? I'll do you another one. In terms of money,
I didn't say Beyonce what doesn't. Okay. All right.
Oh, hold on.
You guys, no, shut the fuck up.
Talking about
shut the fuck up, or I'm micking you. Listen. Stop the generalizations of it. Like if I say no, it's like no, she didn't cross the like. But in pop culture, Taylor Swift has a bigger grasp. That's what I mean. I wasn't going racial. And when you're just screaming over me, like it doesn't help. So like if we're gonna have these real conversations, don't just jump over me. So please go ahead. Like,
has Taylor Swift ever played halftime at the Super Bowl?
She chose not to. She's been asked multiple times, and she said no. She said no this year too. Here's the thing. Like, I'm sticking up for her because I do believe she has had a bigger impact than no, he didn't. He did not. His music isn't.
I love Elvis. Elvis stole everything he had, but he
stole everything. Yeah, it's like a false. Like even Michael Jackson, like I made fun of him before, but like he earned that shit. Elvis didn't really earn that shit.
I think
AJ, you can talk. I'm sorry I yelled at you like that, but like as I'm trying to get out something where we're talking about race, you were jumping over me.
Mick, I
gotta apologize to my brother now.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
You have gray in your beard, fucker.
Taylor does not cross the same plane that Beyonce crosses. And
I think from of course she has a deeper impact when it comes to activism and everything she does, and the impact she has on she has a deep impact. I'm not taking it away from her, and I don't dislike Beyonce. I'm just saying right now,
I love
everything
Beyonce way better than Swift, but
everything that's fine. I completely get that, but I'm just saying, like, with where it's at, where she's reached, now I could see maybe by the end of their time, maybe Beyonce passes her. But I'm saying right now, it's Taylor Swift.
What about Riri?
third tier. She's
I love it. I love Rihanna.
I love Rihanna, but
she
she's
stepped back.
I think there's like a tiering system, and like.
Oh, I would if Rihanna came out strong and never stepped back where she was working on other things. I think she would probably be on top.
Maybe it makes me the old guy, but like, my first tier would be something like Madonna and Michael. Maybe throw some like Mariah Carey in there, some Christina, and then the second tier, you get this like newer Beyonce, Taylor Swift kind of like system, and I don't think they've really reached that first tier yet. I'm sorry, like I don't.
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Taylor Swift's music prior to Midnight's to be juvenile as fuck, and she seems to be speaking to a 14-year-old. That's her target audience feels like a 14-year-old. I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't say anymore. She really.
What about the greatest female R&B singer that ever lived? Whitney.
I love Whitney Houston. I love Whitney Houston, but I would put her on the diva plane.
I'm sorry, dude. Tier 2 for me.
Who is the GOAT? The GOAT. The only person who sung
the greatest singing voice of all time. Yeah, I would probably agree. Whitney Houston.
The only person who sung the national anthem, and it was #1 on the MTV Countdown for 10 weeks straight.
I remember that.
That was a powerful performance.
There's a name that we haven't mentioned that I think transcends our current generation of music.
Okay.
I don't think that any of whether it's Beyonce, and I know here's the crazy part is this woman would never claim to be better than Beyonce or Taylor Swift. She'd never do that. And it's Adele. Adele is better than both.
Oh, I love Adele. But again, I
think she's far more talented than either of them as a singer.
I would put her on the same plane. Oh yes, I agree there. Oh, you're right. When you said Adele, that immediately trumped.
I could tell you who's better than Adele. Google Etta James.
I love Etta James. I love, but Christina sings Etta James better than Etta James.
I'm not. When I say
absolutely.
Wait, hold on. When I say cultural impact, though, and this iconic cultural impact, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the ones who do it also behind the scenes. Taylor Swift is doing the movies. She's doing all this other shit that just wraps around media that she controls and she runs, just like Michael Jackson did, just like Elvis did, or the Colonel, but you know what I mean? So like, just like they did, like that, and those are my comparisons here, because it was like almost stretched all over media, not just singing. They dominated that culture, the whole culture, and Madonna is right up there with
Madonna?
I
thought Rihanna was Madonna.
Madonna's on the same level as
Madonna's on the same level as Mike.
Get mad at me.
She fundamentally changed the scene for female singers in the 1980s.
What about Gloria Estefan?
Great, wonderful singer,
amazing.
Like tier 3, like.
We're just naming great singers now. And it was never about singers. It was never about just their albums. Like the cultural impact is spans more than all of it. They all just started out as singers.
Okay.
If
you're talking about impact. Female singers, impact. Females, I'm a female, impact. And you're saying Taylor Swift, and I'm going to go way, way back before any of us were born. What about Pat Benatar?
Love her.
Love her, but not the
Have
same.
all of the records. And Heart too. Heart. Every record. I love that era of female singer. In fact, I seek out to a certain extent like different female singers that model that era. But rock and roll. So I should mention I dated an opera singer when I was in college. And to a certain extent that informed me about how I view vocal talent. I used to go to all these different competitions and hear them sing and all this shit.
She's about to. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was answering.
No, like my issue with Taylor Swift, Mick, is that she's not that great of a singer. She's just.
But that's fine. But
she's like the best singer in your high school.
But Michael Jackson wasn't the greatest singer.
Oh no. Dude, he
had a distinct sound, and he could sing. I'm not taking his singing away from him. What do you think? You think he was a better singer than Lionel Richie?
Yes, I think he was better. I knew you were going to say Lionel Richie. I knew it. He was.
You think he's a better singer than Diana Ross?
Only male pop singer that I think is better than Michael Jackson, and it's barely is Prince, and it's like this much. It's like this much.
I think Prince is the best singer out of all of them. So,
Dan, I just fell in love with you.
It would be either Prince or David Bowie for me. But Prince is the where it weighs.
Michael Jackson is oh my God.
Great sound.
Voice was transcendent, and he could hit every single masculine note that needed to be hit, whether it was low, high. Like he would vary his vocal range in terms of what he did, and he was dynamic. It's why he was who he was, and he added in a whole other level with
he was a genius in it. Cultural impact, yes. I'll never take it away from the man.
Talent.
She's doing the same thing. She's doing the same thing all around. She's doing exactly what Michael Jackson did. It's the same formula, the same short film music videos that are killing it. It's just not for you, Dan. It's not for you. But it is because we are past the culture that is being impacted.
So if I may chime in, and I get it, she is doing her thing, and she's got her Swifties, and I'm not going to go on this tirade about being a Taylor hater, but my only point is to put her on like that pantheon. No.
Okay.
When you talk about, and we'll specifically,
I'll put Midnight's on the pantheon just because it's a great album. But.
We'll talk. Outside of Michael Jackson or Prince, we'll talk strictly like female artists. You're talking about the Mamas and the Papas. You're talking about the Runaways.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the Mamas and the Papas.
You can say what you will about the Mamas and the Papas, but the lead singer was amazing.
Okay, I'm glad that does his daughters think so?
You can talk about the Runaways.
I'm not giving that guy credit. Fuck that guy.
There'd be no Joan Jett without the Runaways. You can talk about Madonna. You can talk about all these. What I'm saying is transcendency. She's good. She's awesome. But she's not, again, 20 years from now, in my opinion, there's not 100,000 people that are going to go, oh, shit, I got to go to this Taylor Swift concert.
I had a whole fucking idea for the show planned.
We're supposed to
We've been on Taylor Swift for like a half hour.
Oh, I love it. Mick, this is the point of the show, right?
I know. I love. Okay, I have to beg. Can we get off Taylor Swift? I love her, but I'm like, I feel like now it's just offending her, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't like. She hires my security company, where I just beat up people who try to hurt anyone on sets or things like that.
We can talk about Drake's dick pic.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he had a dick pic. No, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Was it impressive at least?
Leave the guy alone. Leave the guy alone.
And no, listen, as long as it's impressive, I'm okay with it. Like, if they beat me, I'm okay with it. That's my rule. Like, if they beat
Dan, here.
then I'm okay with it. So Brett Favre leaks, and I was like, bro, come on.
No,
Like,
Dan, here.
We know what you mean.
The dude's got
Three times.
because like, if it's a baby's arm holding an apple, then I'm okay.
Calm down, over the top.
Stallone. But like that's my thing. It's like sometimes some of these leak, and I'm like, what were you thinking? Are you so egotistical that you're like it doesn't matter? Because like, if I don't know, I would never, if it was like small, be like, oh, here's my wiener.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
I don't mind, like, listen, to get off Drake, because again, I don't like to talk about like the dick pics and stuff like that. And all
I don't think
stuff.
Nick feels comfortable talking about wieners.
Oh, I'll talk about wieners all day. It really is for me. It's like I don't like celebrities. We've talked about this,
Yeah.
but I don't like when they get invaded like that. It just
okay, to a certain
really
extent,
seems
don't
fucked
they
up.
ask for it though?
What do you mean ask for it?
So, okay, if I did, and I haven't in my life. I mean, all three of us were post wiener pick time, right?
Yeah,
like,
my wiener's never been on the internet.
Yeah, like so. If I were part of that era, or younger, I guess, like I would assume that my viewpoint would be if you put it out there, you have to expect that it's going to get out there, right? So why take the picture in the first place unless you knew it was going to get out there?
No, I don't. I disagree. I think because again, I think we're aged out of it. That wasn't our thing. But younger generations who are like embedded with phones when they come out, you know, these younger generations, it's like a pressure thing, and it's like everything's very textualized and all that jazz. You know what I mean? But I'm not going back. I'm not going backwards. I'm not doing it. So all that stuff. So like I think people feel more pressured. So a lot of these people who are getting hit are younger than us, you know, except for the creepy old ones. But you know what I mean? Like they're younger than us.
Like Brett Favre. Of course, at this point, that was like over a decade ago, so I shouldn't probably say that. I don't know.
Yeah. But you know, so like
I was just disappointed. I was like,
like I don't know what the like. And sometimes celebrities, I feel like they feel like they're entitled, like they can take those pictures and send them, and you better know better than to do that. But now it's free for all because you can hack shit and all that stuff. So,
Buddy,
Kim
Kardashian made $1 billion off of a sex tape.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and arguably she's up there on the cultural impact, negatively, but up there on a cultural impact. You know, Hitler had a cultural impact. You know,
You just compared Kim Kardashian and Hitler.
I don't doubt that if she had that power, but whatever.
Nick, there's a rule. Nick, there's a rule in my like intellectual group that anytime Nazism or anything Hitler comes up, you immediately have to change topics.
Yeah.
We have that rule.
That was
Because,
it.
like, we'll get somebody coming like, God, I remember in 2016 the election, and like it would just be some of my like more liberal friends would immediately start interjecting those terms. And
No,
so
I don't mean. No, I'm sorry, but let's think about cultural impact in a negative way. And like that has that type of Michael Jackson type of cultural impact.
Did he have a negative impact or a more positive impact?
Hitler?
No, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no, Michael Jackson. I mean, depending on who you ask, could have had a more positive yeah, this is getting bogged down. I didn't want to go backwards. So now what I'm saying is like Kim Kardashian, cultural impact, yes, but I think in a negative way. And the only other one I can think of within this last century or two is Hitler. So I'm not saying that Kim Kardashian is Hitler. I'm just saying those two have something in common, which is they both impacted culture negatively, in my opinion.
I think this is my Kim Kardashian thing. I respect the living hell out of her because she's a modern day samurai. She took
Please don't do this.
She took a role in a family and carved out her own empire out of it. And I despise that empire, but that doesn't mean that empire isn't supremely oppressive. Or sorry, impressive. Man, I am that Long Island.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's impressive what she's done.
I'm sure she was very suppressive to her husband at the time.
I think she's impressive. I, to a certain extent, bow to her ability to carve these things out because I could never do it. Do I think that it has a negative impact on society? We've talked about this, yes. However, she's supremely. I mean, she got people pardoned. Like, she's really powerful, and I gotta respect that. Like, I gotta respect.
You know who I respect? Mickle, no, I always say move in silence, is her younger sister who kept quiet and became a billionaire. Kept quiet, became a billionaire. Kylie Jenner kept quiet, became a billionaire.
Mike's about to watch her shows and shit.
Mike's
I don't know. I know I'm taking hard on this one, but I just really don't have an opinion on that family. I really don't.
My wife, she just hates him. That's it. She's just like, I hate the Kardashians.
You know, I just it's yeah. I don't know. I just fucking can't take it. I'm sorry. I know I went dry on that one, but like every time with that family, like, not that I hate them or anything. I don't want to hate anyone, but it's just like it's so negative. So it's like I just need some sunglasses for that one.
Where are your sunglasses?
I don't know. I broke them the other fucking day. They're over there. I broke them. I had really nice Blockbuster video sunglasses that I bought online from the last Blockbuster.
Oh, come on, Mick. Now it's time for the transition.
There.
Boop. I wore sunglasses during Betting Bro.
Yeah, you did. I'm spinning the wheel.
Spin it.
You want your transition? Give you your transition. Fucker.
Who's McAfee? Are you talking about the punter?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I love that. I don't know the butt sugar reference though.
So every time I come on Friday, I'm going to have yet another dumb name. So next week's going to be Jersey Mud Duck.
By the way, it's the season finale, everybody.
And then, yeah, I'm just going to come up with more and more obscure, dumb names. Mick Stinky Grundle. That might be another one.
All right. Number 19, the most underrated sports films of the last decade.
Necessary Roughness.
That's not those 80s, dude.
The last decade? God, going back to 2014?
Oh, man.
The
It's a good
sports
one.
movies are kind of on the outs.
in the breach, but they're all pre 2000.
Hold on. Let me try and think of some. It's just a tough.
That's a recent sports movies. Oh, well, Arrow wasn't underrated. Fuck.
All right. I think okay. American Underdog, ironically, I think was a really good movie. The Kurt Warner story. I really like that one.
We're talking movies straight from 2000 on.
So I don't know. I was just fucking around. Looking at
I
shit.
mean, he didn't say there was a time cap on it.
No,
I
not really. I was just said the last decade.
was going to talk about The Replacements.
That was a great fucking movie. And that was
Man.
based.
Oh,
that was
do documentaries count? Do documentaries count?
if they're underrated, sure.
Malice at the Palace.
I saw that.
That was I was watching that live when that happened. It was the Pistons versus the Pacers. It was 2004. And the Malice at the Palace documentary. That should have been won every documentary award it possibly could have won. I loved that documentary. And not just because I love the Pistons, but they tackled it in a way that changed my perspective. And
So Dan, you're from Michigan, so obviously you hate Ohio State.
no,
What about the boys from Akron?
I don't mind that so much. Like, so here's the thing: is like I am pro Big Ten first. I like a good big. So I didn't go to Big Ten school. I went to a smaller school here in Michigan, and so I don't have a dog in the race, so to speak. And I despise that, like Walmart. We call it in Michigan. We call it the Walmart Wolverine. You'll see some people who never went to college that have a lot of opinions about Ohio State. I'm Big Ten first. Now, if Michigan plays Ohio State, I tend to cheer for a Michigan team. Like, but I low-key love their coach right now. Ryan Day is one of my favorite coaches ever. And it comes down to a time. He got to the end of the first half, and there was about a minute and a half left. And the team they were playing, I can't remember who it was, but they didn't take a timeout. So he did, even though they were up by 28. And then they went down and fucking scored. And I was like, that's exactly how I fucking coach football. You don't like it? Stop me. It's not rude. Fuck you. You don't like it? Stop me. And, like, I like that about Ryan Day.
So have you ever seen The U or The U Part 2?
I love the U. Love it. It's all about the U. Mick, it's all about the U.
He's a fucking Miami guy.
I love the Hurricanes.
You're such a bullshit artist. You love the Seminoles and the fucking.
No. So, truth and transparency, my wife is a Florida State alumni, and I am all about the U. We can't even talk to each other when the game's on.
So you abandoned the team your wife went to?
hate
all about that U.
I hate every team south of the Mason-Dixon line, but when I was a kid, even though I love the University of Michigan, earlier there was a Woodson jersey on. Charles Woodson, in my opinion, is the greatest college athlete of all time. Like,
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm sorry. Proceed.
The greatest college athlete.
Oh, for sure. Like, change college sports.
I can't do this in a straight face. You're no. There's no way you're not fucking.
So the odds, betting wise, think about this for a second.
No, yeah, let him talk.
The betting odds for Charles Woodson to win the Heisman Trophy at the beginning of the 1988 season was plus 100,000.
Dan. Oh
Charles
my
Woodson
God.
is the greatest college football player.
Wait, do you know that there were colleges before Charles Woodson, right?
Sure, and he was better, and none have been better since. He would have been the best. If he
But
played
like you're
receiver.
saying athlete, are you saying just football? Or are you saying
Football? Yeah. Football.
Okay, I think that's why I laugh so hard because I'm like, Dan, like all sports.
No, football. Like if he had played receiver, he would have been the best receiver in NCAA. He was the best corner by a billion years. He was the best punt returner. He was the best kick returner. If they had handed the ball off to him, he would have been the best running back in the nation. Charles Woodson, and in the NFL, it was legendary. Oh my God! Like shutdown corner, played strong safety when he needed to. Was a monster. Like if you know the position, he was a monster. He was an S rover for the Ravens when he played for them as an ancient human, as well as the Raiders. Like
Are you
Charles
kidding
Woodson,
me? Dan Marino is probably
potentially he's the greatest athlete to play in the NFL ever. Potentially.
Dan Marino is probably the best fucking college football athlete.
No way.
Mick Manhattan, may I?
I guess go ahead. Don't be rude.
Jim Thorpe.
Great, but not Charles Woodson.
Brown.
Great, but not Charles Woodson.
Ernie.
You can say that about everybody. Is your opinion is Charles Woodson? Charles wouldn't know what we're saying.
The only player I'll accept as
that
daringly comparable. The only player I'll accept as daringly comparable is Barry Sanders, and it's only because of statistically what he did at Oklahoma State in 1988. That's the only person that I will.
The fact that you said
rushed
Barry
for
Sanders,
2,400 yards, and it's
the fact
really,
that you said Barry
hard
Sanders
to imagine.
right there negates this dude. Negates Woodson. Barry Sanders, you're right. Bo Jackson, you're right.
Bo Jackson. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Right there. Bo Jackson, the most well-rounded athlete ever.
Tommy Frazier.
Nope.
You're crazy.
Ray Lewis.
We're not asking you. We're telling you.
Alonzo Highsmith. Jonathan Vilma. Come on, dude. Come on.
Charles Woodson.
I mean, I think we put him on the level of Tim Tebow.
I'll take it.
Name another player.
I'll take it to his own team. Desmond Howard.
I love Howard. Howard wasn't the receiver
Come
that was.
Come on, dude. Come on. Stop.
Nope.
Stop.
Charles, watch. Okay, great documentary.
Eric Dickerson.
Amazing.
Doug Flutie.
But Dickerson wasn't even as good as Barry Sanders.
Dickerson ran for 2,945 yards his senior year. 2,945.
Ran for 34 touchdowns.
He didn't have to. He ran for 2,945 yards.
I'm just telling you. Charles Woodson.
Stop it. Stop.
Dan,
all day, every day, and twice on Tuesday.
Dan, stop.
I don't even think in your heart of hearts you believe
Stop
that.
it.
Well, I believe it 100%. You can ask Tim anytime, Tim. You can ask Tim. Charles Woodson, I have his jersey. I have his Michigan jersey back there. I have a Raiders jersey. I have a Packers jersey.
Woodson's not even above the Miyagi line.
I'll give you one. Name the last Heisman Trophy winner who was drafted in the first round of two different sports. I'll wait.
It's Bo Jackson.
Nope.
No, was it Dion?
Nope.
No, it wasn't Bo Jackson. I thought he was drafted in the first round of two sports.
He was drafted in the first round in 2 different years. I'm talking first round, same year, 2 different sports.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Charlie Ward from Florida State.
Florida State was I should have known that because he was drafted by the Yankees.
No, he was drafted by the New York Knicks, and he was drafted by the New York Jets. And he decided
it was a New York team. I knew it was a New York team. I remember exactly what you're talking about. I remember exactly what you're talking about.
Nick, tell him I'm a sports nerd. I know my shit.
He was Mr.
I love it. No, I knew it was a New York team. I just didn't remember what sport. No, I remember Charlie Ward.
Charles Woodson, the best college football player of all time.
For sure. Hands
No.
down.
No.
Come on, man. So,
No.
okay.
We'll
Watch.
just agree to
There's a
disagree.
documentary. There's a 30 for 30 on ESPN. There's a documentary on ESPN, 30 for 30, about the 1998 Heisman Trophy race. Watch it, because it just reaffirmed everything that I know about Charles Woodson. It reaffirmed everything I know about Charles Woodson. The guy it was a shutdown corner. He could play the run better than anybody else on the field. He was a great punt returner, a great kick returner, was the best receiver in the nation at the time, and didn't even have to do more than catch 30 passes in a season. Like, he had the kind of speed that just transcended football at that time. Like, Charles Woodson, all day, every day.
And he won the Heisman, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And handily. And it beat out the greatest quarterback that I've ever seen. Look at George. Yeah, he's impressed, man.
Who's the greatest quarterback in college football you've ever seen?
Quarterback in college football. There's only one answer.
It's either Peyton Manning. It's either Peyton Manning, and I hate to say this, or Tim Tebow.
Dan Marino.
No, he wasn't at Pittsburgh. He wasn't that impressive. Like, and don't forget, he never led them to a national championship.
So, Dan, what's the greatest trophy you could win in college football?
I think it's Heisman, personally.
Individually, an individual.
Heisman.
The Heisman. Who's the only player that won 2 back-to-back?
That wasn't Tim Tebow. That's why I named it.
Nope.
I thought he won his.
He won 1.
Junior. He only won 1.
He only won 1.
Okay. That's
Only player to win 2, a.k.a. the greatest football player to ever play college football, Archie Griffin from Ohio State in 74 and 75. 2 Heismans back-to-back.
That is a fair assessment. If we're weighing on that, that's a fair assessment. Because
does it matter that Tim Tebow was nominated all 4 years he played?
Doesn't matter if you're nominated. No,
that's crazy.
Tim Tebow wasn't nominated all 4 years because his freshman year he didn't start. He was a backup to Blake. Tim Blake. He didn't start.
All right. Come on.
I thought he was redshirted and he got activated. Am I wrong?
He got activated, but he didn't start. He wasn't the starter when they won their first national championship.
Or was he nominated? So he couldn't be nominated for not
No, he
starting?
wasn't in like the 3. He's right. It's 3. And I hate Tim Tebow, but that was why.
Sports nerd out here.
Yeah.
No, so to a certain extent, no, I'm staying by it. I still think Peyton Manning and Tim Tebow. I still think Peyton Manning and Tim Tebow are the best quarterbacks I've ever seen.
His best running back in college.
Barry Sanders, hands down.
No.
You're going to say Eric Dickerson. Barry Sanders, hands down.
I'm not going to say Eric Dickerson.
Who are you going to say?
Earl Campbell.
Campbell was great, but I mean,
if you remember about Barry Sanders, he didn't start till his junior year because guess who was the starter before him?
Thurman Thomas, and who got drafted by the Buffalo Bills in the first. But that's the thing is, if he had started, can you imagine if Barry Sanders had started all 4 years? He rushed for 2,400 yards and had never started.
You have to look at those college running backs. I mean, you could talk about Eric Bieniemy. He ran for 2,500 yards every year he played. You
Kellen Moore, really?
No, Kellen Moore was great, and he's a good coach. Kellen Moore's a hell of a coach.
You could talk about college quarterbacks. If you're talking about yards they put up, yeah, Dan Marino's up there. Sure, Peyton Manning's up.
Shredded yardage though? Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, but so again, look at who won. Tommy Frazier in those mid-'90s Nebraska teams. He maybe
Can you imagine though that Nebraska team having to play Michigan in 1988? Can you imagine that for a second?
They would have ran all over them.
Michigan would have destroyed them.
No, they would not have.
They beat. Do not forget, they shredded that Ohio State team.
They would not have beaten Nebraska. That
They
Nebraska.
would have killed Nebraska all day, every day.
That Frazier-led Nebraska team would have ran all over them.
No way. Come on, man. Like,
Damn.
that Michigan team was stacked. Look at that roster.
They beat Miami in a national championship, and Miami had 9 defensive players taken in the first and second round, and they ran it down their throat. Truth, and truth.
Michigan held the number. So, Ohio State was a phenomenal rushing team in 1998. I can't remember who their starting running back was, but it was a great running back. They held them to 76 yards, and that's Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a Big Ten team. When you come on down south,
Big Ten is number one conference in the entire nation. I don't believe this Southern shit. I don't believe it for a second.
You're talking.
Anybody south of the Mason-Dixon line want to come north and play in the snow? Anybody south of the Mason-Dixon line want to come play in the snow?
I have no loyalty.
All right. We got to wait till one stops talking because you don't have a set mic. Okay. So it's like catching a lot of stuff.
I have no loyalty to the Big Ten. I have no loyalty to the SEC. But if you're telling me right now, and I will come on your show and we could do a full-on first take moment that the Big Ten is better than the SEC, you are out of your mind.
They don't play anybody in the SEC. But Michigan, the Big Ten teams beat the fuck out of each other, and then they end up playing the SEC or the ACC teams late when academics are important. And that's the other part. Is Big Ten academics are far more strenuous than anybody south of the Mason-Dixon line. Like, you have to have a 3.4 GPA to even step.
So you're going to quote Big Ten athletics and then talk about Ohio State.
Ohio State is phenomenal as far as their GPA.
Oh, really? So you're going to talk about the year Maurice Clarett came into Ohio State and the starting running back transferred.
Fine for that, deservedly so.
Hold on.
Maurice Clarett was Maurice Clarett. I'm for the draft early.
I'm using him as a transitionary. The running back that started, and it was a Sports Illustrated cover article. When Maurice Clarett came in as a freshman, the starting running back that played before him transferred to Maryland. He had 78 credits. You know how many credits the University of Maryland garnered him? 16. Because they get 8 credits a semester for a class called The Fundamentals of Coaching Football. So spare me on the Big Ten and their academic process. Spare me. Okay? What happens is the Big Ten plays, and this year, good on them, Michigan won. The Big Ten plays to lose to the SEC every single year. The route to the college football championship runs through the SEC.
Next year with a 16-team playoff finally.
And you know what? 7 of them are going to be from the SEC because the 5th
7
ranked
of them are going to be from the Big Ten.
the 5th ranked team in the SEC, Ole Miss, the 5th ranked team will stomp the dog piss out of State.
Iowa would have beat the piss out of them. Iowa would have beat the piss out of them. Iowa would have stomped them in the ground. That defense
Twice on Sunday.
Oh, man, you're making me want to do a college football show.
I'm here all day. I love Mick. I will go on your show every day. Alabama
cannot say words like the R word.
Alabama
You can't replace them with other words thinking that that's okay because it still means the same thing.
Alabama just lost the greatest coach to ever coach college football. Just lost him. You know how many recruits they lost? 0.
Yeah, like
0.
I think
I've had
that,
nothing to offer this last 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Mick. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be. You guys are nailing it. I feel like I'm fucking useless.
See, to a certain extent, I think it's been up to this point unfair to the Big Ten in terms of how things go. And I cannot wait to see a larger playoff field where other teams have to play somebody like, here's the thing. The second best team in the nation was not Washington. The second best team in the nation this season was Ohio State. And by a large margin. And Michigan handled them. Like,
Second
if
best team.
Ohio State had played any other team that was part of the playoffs, Ohio State would have beat them. Ohio State would have beat them handily.
Ohio State would beat Georgia?
Yes.
No.
Yep.
Ohio State would beat Alabama? No.
Yes.
No.
Michigan beat Alabama and should have beat them by more if they hadn't collapsed in the third quarter. And Ohio State was just as good as Michigan.
Ohio State's starting quarterback transferred after they lost.
Yep. But they wouldn't have had it not happened, right?
Well, I would be able to fly a helicopter if I was a helicopter pilot. Shit doesn't work out that way.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the only reason they transferred is they didn't have a chance for a national championship.
Hey, AJ, I was.
Yes, you were.
For one night.
I think I can't wait. I can't wait for more Southern teams to have to play real football against Northern teams. I cannot freaking wait for them to have to play. They play so many shitty teams in the SEC. So many absolutely garbage football teams. And I cannot wait until they have to play a division.
You mean they don't play Appalachian State? I mean, that's on Michigan's roster every year. All teams.
In August, yeah. Like, that's what they have to play.
Teams play garbage teams. They pay those universities to do that. That's what they do.
But the Big Ten schools, on average, like, think about having to play Iowa twice. Like, Iowa is a damn tough football team.
Okay. So think of being about Georgia and having to play potentially LSU twice, or potentially having to play Alabama twice, or
but Georgia is not Iowa level, right? So that's my difference. Is like Georgia is Michigan level and Ohio State level, right? So imagine being Georgia and having to play somebody like Iowa twice, and you don't.
Georgia would stomp Iowa into the ground.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Would.
Let me ask you guys a question real quick. How long you guys want to go on with this? I'm fine with it. I'm just going to add somebody else who can help you with it if that's the case.
We can wrap it up. We can wrap it up, man.
I don't want to wrap it up. I want you to keep going.
We can transgress into the movie. Dan, I want to come on your show and talk sports because
No, I was just going to say I'm just going to throw the fucking link to George and go to bed and let you all argue it out myself.
Mike, you know how I am about sports. I am passionate about sports.
You know, you got to be gone by 10. I don't give a shit. You tell me.
Clearly doesn't understand. I believe last week you said defenses aren't judged by stats.
Defenses shouldn't be judged by stats. They should be judged by wins.
That's exactly what they should be judged by.
Man, I think you came in after it. Like we became friends after it. The Scene Snobs has a sports channel. It looks like the Ghostbusters firehouse and Ghostbusters Afterlife at the end of it, where it's real dusty and stuff, because we haven't had sports shows since 2021.
Oh, we have a sports show? We have a sports show? Come on.
No, Betting Bros is the only one, though. Like, I had a dude, Dwight Gooding was on a show on the Scene Snobs.
I love Dwight Gooding.
How much crack did you have to offer?
Stop that. Don't do that. I don't do that, AJ.
He was solid for the Cavaliers. Come on.
But no, so and you know what? The man is living a good life now, so don't do that. But my point is, like, you want it, it exists.
I'll take your sports show all day long. I'll take your.
No.
No, me and Dan.
I don't have a sports show.
Me and
I
Dan.
have a channel.
Yeah, me and
Be
Dan.
with it what it will.
Happy hour. We'll just argue about how the Big Ten sucks. And
oh no, come on!
Oh my
It's the
God.
premier conference.
Oh my God! If I
like the way Dan and I dance back and forth. We can talk sports all day long. We both played football. We both understand. Like, I promise you, on Monday I'm going to be flipping my top about how bad
the Kansas City Chiefs won 24-17. Is that how you're going to?
If you went back to the NFL right now, and I put my kid on this thing, he might school both of you.
Oh, he kicked my ass in fantasy football. That little fucker.
That kid, that's your nephew.
Nobody beats me in fantasy football. So.
He will.
Don't call him that.
Time out. I got it. My daughter's crying. I got to be right back.
Don't call him that. I don't like that.
I like your brother, Mick.
Yeah, it's culturally different people, but we're family. Like, so that's why it's like whenever I hear people like, the world is divided, it's like I'm very much different from most of the people in my
if Tim were here, what he would say is like, that is every Friday night. So my parents had a college. And every Friday night we'd pour. And most of the time that is exactly the discussion that would take place. So some version of everything, including the music stuff. I love arguing music, and I think to a certain extent I wish there was more music stuff on the Scene Snobs.
I want there to be.
I don't have the bandwidth to do that, but
no, I want there to be. I would love a huge music presence. I just most of the time I have to like produce it or jump in myself. That's why I love Betting Bros, and like the fact that like really I don't have to do anything with it. Not that I'm not willing to jump in and do it. I love being there and watching you guys and doing the things. But like I can't conceptualize it and put that stuff together while I'm doing all the other stuff in that direction. So it's like once it's ready, the technical stuff is easy. I can do that, but like I just can't keep. Like,
I was appreciating you're kind of doing the producing thing during my show. I like that.
Then I'll be there every Friday. No
it
problem.
Was handy.
You worry about
it's hard to like make the drinks and respond to the comments at the same time.
I'll tell you what. Let's try it. We'll give me a trial run for next week's episode. I will just take controls. You host. I will try and match your speed, but you tell me. Oh, sorry.
I just threw him on. I don't like. And I feel like he should be on MasterShake, and he can do the shots with me.
Oh God.
I don't drink shots.
You've drank shots.
He has drank many. That's why he probably doesn't drink them anymore.
I haven't drank hard liquor since 2016. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Beer is phasing out. What's weird is I review 6 beers every week, and beer's phasing out for me, and I have to drink them because they're in my cooler. Now I just want to drink whiskey.
Well, no, I drink a dick ton of beer, but no, I don't drink shots. Nothing good. Years ago, an old man told me that nothing good comes from shots and nothing good comes from being at a bar after 8 p.m. And I said, 8 a.m.
I would love to see. God, can I get in a time machine and go drinking with you guys about 2008?
Nope.
But here's the thing. Okay, so remember, Dan, you're like a connoisseur when it comes to drinking. We're the guys who literally, like my brother said, I haven't had a drink since, because there's a story behind that. There's a reason we can't have those drinks anymore. So you do it right.
my history, one of the most notorious nights. I was in LA. It was when I was in college, and they hung this picture up at my fraternity house. we had this night at the Brass Monkey in LA. It was me and like 3 of my fraternity brothers. One of my fraternity brothers had moved to LA, and there was a picture of me taking 2 Coronas at the same time and like chugging them. And like, I think the 3 of us could have had a pretty fucking good time.
Oh yeah.
So,
Dan, that's why we get along. Like, I know we'd party, but
I
the problem is like we'd party, and then like we'd fight. Because
other people.
So I won't go into Mick and AJ stories. I'll just go into my story. I
remember the statute of limitations.
I woke up in North Carolina. I had just gotten home from Iraq. Dan, like you, I served in the military.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Went down to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and partied there for 3 days.
Oh my God.
Went to Winter Park, Florida. And I'm not going to get into specifics, have no real remembrance of what happened in Winter Park, Florida, and woke up on the floor in the airport at JFK in New York City with no idea how I got there.
Love it.
With a text message from Mick Manhattan going, "Where did you go?"
So here's the thing. My favorite part of that story, my favorite part of that entire story is that he left out the point where I'm going to pick him up at the airport.
Oh, please.
He got shut up. He got tired while waiting for his bag and sat in a wheelchair, and then took the bag and just rolled out to the front. And then when I pulled up with my window open, because it's Florida at night, he threw one bag through one window and jumped in the other out of the chair in front of everyone. He was just next to
Dan, you're a veteran?
Do you know Fort Huachuca?
Yes.
I will be right back.
Okay,
I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, I did AIT in Huachuca, and on the weekends we'd go to Tijuana. We had a buddy who worked med. He worked med, and so we'd get back Sunday at like 8 p.m.
IV bags?
IV bags. IV fucking bags. Only a fucking soldier understands. Yeah, man. I have like, so you can't see it but I have like scars from the fucking IV bags coming back from Tijuana. Everybody's like, what are you even talking about? I'm like, no. You don't understand. That's like an hour and you're sober. An hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, like.
So what Mick didn't tell you is I landed, he was in school down in Florida. I landed in the airport. So I flew from Norfolk, Virginia to Orlando. It's like an hour and a half flight.
Yeah, it's like a tiny flight, basically.
4 hours early. Got hammered at the airport. I'm on the plane on my laptop pumping Lil Jon and the East Side Boys while I'm wearing jeans, flip-flops, and a Hawaiian t-shirt. Just looking like complete white trash.
Love it.
I'd never been to Orlando before. I didn't know you had to take like a monorail.
You got to take the whole rail there.
I get off the plane, I get on this monorail, I'm hammered. I get off, I'm like, this is a long-ass walk. So I hop in a wheelchair, it's a downhill. Where he says a bag, it's when you were Army?
Army, yeah.
So what you call a duffel bag was my sea bag, my big green bag.
A duffel. Yep.
And I'm just wheeling down, and everybody's just loving, thank you for your service, blah, 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 blah. He rolls up.
Everybody
He rolls up in his shitty fucking gray Impala. I throw the bag in the back, dive through the seat. He looks at me like, what the hell's the matter with you? I'm like, we're good. I look back, the sheer look of just disdain on everybody else. And then he brings me to this like Orlando friggin' local bar, which means like NASCAR T-shirts
Yeah,
and
NASCAR for sure. Yeah, if it's
and
Orlando.
all I did, I dumped like $100 in the, because I came home, I was
Oh, you gotta play the juke. Yeah.
nothing but Little John and the East Side Boys.
Oh my God.
Just pumping it through. Poor Mick is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to have a good time.
Trying to have a good time. I went down last spring for Carolina Fear Fest, and I show up, shorts in a southern, like I got like a floral print fucking shirt and shit, thinking it's time to party. I rent this Mustang, got the top down, but when I got there, the weather got shitty. It's like raining the whole time, so I didn't even get to have the top down and shit. And I thought in my head, I was like, all these guys, we're gonna go out and like party and drink and everything like this. And actually, only one guy came out and drank with me from the whole nation. I met them all. I ran into everybody at CFF. Like I went there, talked to a bunch of people that are part of the channel and everything like that. But what was amazing? Side note, slightly amazing that like 6 people came up to me and like, "Oh, you're MasterShake. You make the fucking cocktails." And I was like, nobody fucking knows me. But aside from that, I thought it was time to get fucking wrecked. I was like, I'm on vacation, time to get wrecked. I sent all these pictures. I'm in the fucking convertible. I'm ready to go get wasted. And like, honestly, people were a little tame. So I go out to the coast and I get drunk with a fisherman. And I was late. I paid this ticket to get into CFF early. I was late because I had to wait to get sober up. But I go out and I get drunk with this fisherman while we're on the pier in North Carolina catching fish and shit. And I wanted to throw the fish back. And he was like, "You're not gonna throw those fucking fish back. I'm gonna eat those fucking fish." I was like, "You can eat them, I guess. I don't have a license to fish in fucking North Carolina." It was like, "You can have the fish, I guess." I finally show up back. About an hour late, Nick? Was I about an hour late to the? Like,
yeah, I mean, you weren't bad. It wasn't anything major.
But like, I've been drinking like all fucking day, and like, first time I meet Mary, and I mean, I obviously knew Mick pretty well.
You made a great impression, bro.
I tried to keep my fucking cool, but
everybody loved it, dude.
I was so hammered. I was like, I should not have driven that whole way.
We're gonna miss you this year. There's people have already asked about you. I was like, I don't think this year.
I don't know, man. I don't see any way I can get down there.
That's not a guilt trip. I understand. I understand.
If they had it, why can't they have it the week after Labor Day? Like, why?
I know it's tough, but it's a good weekend for them.
I understand.
So, Mick, can we maybe next Friday have the story about how Frankie Knuckles had to pay a cop not to lock him up in Mexico?
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know. Not even for my own safety.
A lot of stories. The time one of my battle buddies got a tattoo on his ass, and it was from God, what's the proper term? Like, I don't even know the proper term anymore. A transgendered person gave him a tattoo on his ass, and then at the end, gave him the old, and the guy like was like into it a little bit, and like we all started fucking railing on him at the bar about it, and it was a whole fucking story in Tijuana, man. Like,
so
it was a whole thing.
Did you ever see the Tijuana Donkey Show?
No,
I didn't.
No.
I had 3 friends that saw the donkey. I had 3 friends, Mick, that saw the donkey show. 3 friends saw the donkey show. Mick, I went to AIT in Huachuca, which is like just across the border. Just across the border to Arizona. It's like, I think it's about 130 miles.
The closest I've ever come. The closest I've ever come.
Yeah, I was stationed in Pembleton.
Okay, yeah.
We made many a trip to TJ. Hence why I had to pay the cop not to lock me up.
And that's what all you have to do is like be like, I'll give you $120, and then they just look the other way. Like, when we would ride our crotch rockets, Mick, back across the border, and honestly, like the crazy part is this: that like we should have gotten so many drunk drivings coming back from Tijuana, and nobody ever fucking rang us up, man. And like to this day, I'm just kind of like, I got really fucking lucky because we would drink tequila for 2 days straight and stay in the shittiest hotel rooms you've ever seen. Like some of like the hotel. Oh my god, dude! Like
stay in a hole.
I mean, it was scary. It was scary. Some of the hotel rooms we stayed in because we were. It's not like you have a lot of money, and then like your brother can tell you, AJ, we don't make money. We just spend money, and like.
Paid on the first, broke on the second, waiting until the 15th.
It's the first 15th. Like, it's. Oh my god.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
Mick, I got to wrap it up here for me because it's 10. I do want to watch some of Joe Bob.
Yeah, go do that. I want to go spend some time with the wife, but we will probably be back next week. Definitely MasterShake. Moderately entertaining mixology minutes. We'll be back, and I can't.
But only moderately. Only moderately.
Yeah, I said MasterShake's moderately entertaining. I said
but
moderately.
It's important that it's only moderately. Don't expect to be extremely entertained. Okay, because
You will now because you're going to be all producer mode. You're going to be on host mode. I'll be in producer mode. Oh, it's going to be fun. All right. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Dan.
Mac and He's blood sugar.
Jesus Christ.